What's happening, bulls? Happy hump day. Cyclone incoming. If you like technical analysis, charts, crypto, and news, we'll go through the Twitter feed together. We'll keep you covered every single day. Bitcoin and Ethereum, Solana, all the alts. We've got a couple of important things to cover today, so hang around, like, subscribe if you can. Let's flick over. We'll first look at Bitcoin. So yesterday we were talking about the double bottom attempt, and this is a messy ass double bottom attempt, but this is a double bottom attempt nonetheless, because the break of this 78k line, horizontal ray that we've placed right there is very significant, very important. Often you will see, it's textbook actually, it's a healthy downtrend. You see lots of different colored candles here, obviously green and red being the only ones, but then you've got the parabola. So a trend typically has a duration and then it ends with a parabola and then a double bottom, and exactly the opposite, inverse. You'll probably seen this many a times on charts. The lower high, or maybe if it's a shitcoin, altcoin, it'll wick up and take out some stops, and then the trend reverses. That is what we're looking at here potentially. It's obviously not guaranteed, and it's not a beautiful bottom if this is the bottom. But when you've seen a downtrend turn into a parabola, so like look at this. Ready? We'll inverse it. It's always good to invert the scale. What would you say that's toppy? Would you say that's a top? Or would you say the channel is likely to continue? So that's interesting. I'd love to hear what you think. Whether you think the channel would continue, whether you might see some of this shit, or do you think that usually comes down and does this? I think this, but again, I'm borderline perma-bull. The way I've been fucking going for the last couple of years, really, since the bottom, we've got plenty of screenshots. I know you don't want to hear it, but plenty of receipts, us turning bullish right at the bottom here at this beautiful area of 16k. That was where we first started our long-term blockchain bulls long-term hold Bitcoin. We got 6 purchases all throughout there. I'd love to bring them up, but that would take more time than we have. So what we're looking at here is Bitcoin trying to put in a filthy bottom, a dirty old bottom, but now you've got more or less an option to be bullish here until you start breaking down the range low. So how do we find the range? We zoom in. Zooming in, you can see the price action. The more you zoom in, the more consolidatory, if that's not a word, we've just made it up, that the prices really are. Like, look at this. See this here? It's getting a little bit of a messy chart, but if you can look in deeply, you can see that we've got a G-box. This G-box is ran by fib lines. So if you're into Fibonacci retracements, then this is what it is based on. And we've got lows, and then we've got highs. And then we've got emotional news and volatility breaks that happen here and here. So more or less, what you need to see is this price not break down below 80k again. These green bars have been hanging around for a while now. See how this news pump just got sold off straight away. Very fast. Didn't even continue higher at all. It reached and first red bars, it was starting to go down. What you need to see here now is just continued strength and confirmation that the price has therefore bottomed in that area. So more or less, you can trade this range. You can range trade here. You could expect there'll be lots of shorts here. There'll be lots of shorts here. If the price comes back up, you might get something like this again. And then oh no, in hindsight, you would have been able to draw a nice channel on that. Something like that typically happens the most common. But we won't get stuck too much on Bitcoin. But really, at the end of the day, the longer that it takes, quite obviously, the longer that it spends in this downtrend, the closer it is to a reversal. And it's getting everything's just statistics and probabilities. Everything's probability based. So as Like when we were talking about when we had blue bars up here on Bitcoin, when we had blue bars here, it's just like, okay, we were flipping bullish, we were flipping bearish. It was quite 50-50. I was bullish here for a bit. And then the S&P 500, the stock market, had this massive head fake. And then we flipped bearish, especially after this big red candle. We flipped bearish because it was tippy-toeing. But as now that it's had this parabolic increase, it's reaching these lower prices, you can say that these these chances of a bottom are definitely higher than they were there when they were 50-50. Getting more into the 60% areas now, 60 something percent chance of a bottom here. Now, moving on, we're going to look at a few other coins. So what do you think here? Are you long here? I would definitely be looking for opportunities to buy and to go long if the price comes back down into these areas. I would say that would be quite an easy long opportunity, and depends what time frame. So clearly, depending what time frame, but the bull market's not back on until this channel that's been respected so many times is broken. Bare minimum, 1, 2, 3, 4. This channel, it needs to be broken. At least it needs to be broken. So interesting, and then we'll follow on after that. So that's Bitcoin nonetheless. Ethereum looking gross, but at least it's getting some green. Again, very ugly charts, very large volatility expansions. We can see over here, if we bring up the stochastics, it's just coming off the low. Every Ethereum chart is dog shit ugly. Ethereum chart is covered in freckles and red hair. Sorry, gingers. Solana, on the other hand, a little bit tidier, more or less the same concept. Like we said yesterday, trying to put in that double bottom low, really trying to put in this higher low. So the cutoff here is very simple. You can just see. You start getting candle closes back down here, things that aren't just a wick. So we've talked about this 125 area. So this is just a key area, and whether this was enough, time will tell. But if you start getting candle closes, it's going to come down. It's going to really soak that up, and then it'll be violent. It'll be violent because there'll be so many stop losses down here. It'll be like that. Otherwise, if this can hold, and if all the bags have been filled, then this is a strong area. So really, we're just on bottom watch at the moment. Big bottom watch. It's some seriously big Kahona plays coming from a lot of people that are longing here, but you know for a fact, if you've been around, you are completely in the understanding that the big Kahona plays are the ones that make the big money, and also the ones that lose the big money. So you can't be in it. But I tell you what, it turns out longing now, although it might go down further, longing now would be a better financial decision than longing 2 months ago right at the top, right? Like, longing now is better than longing at the top. So think about that one, put that in your pipe and smoke it. Now let's talk about the stock market real quick, okay? Because the stock market is just bringing the whole world down. It's a drag, man. Like, that is more or less a huge attempt at a change in trend direction. So the trend is a big uptrend. It's been a big uptrend on the S&P 500. It's really, like we talked about these ugly red candles, and they're just getting uglier and uglier. They're spreading. They do not look good. Look at this huge channel. So it's more or less at the bottom of this big, like, multi. Let's have a little zoom out. More or less a multi-year channel. Stonks, and it wants to break it. It wants to go lower. So we'll be keeping an eye on the stock market a lot at the moment, because a strong reversal in the stock market will bleed out into the crypto. So if you're praying for anything, you should be praying for the stonks. And this is all around on the stonks board. This is the Tesla chart. Let's have a little look. So Elon's getting more and more broke so far from all these tariffs. Tesla down 44% from the highs. It's just huge since Christmas. And believe it or not, Tesla Tesla topped out on the 18th of December, which was the same time that crypto topped out. That's pretty much exactly the same day. So if you don't think they're correlated, they are fucking correlated. And these stocks, these stocks are deemed as high risk stocks. Crypto deemed as high risk tech assets. So of course they're going to be correlated, and they're massively correlated. So we'll see when Elon gives Trump the old call up, say, excuse me, Paul, Paul, I'm broke, Paul. So look at, that's Tesla. Look at Google. Let's look at Google next. Looking at Google, pretty much similar. Topped out recently though. Topped out start of February. Starting to trend down. Doesn't look too bad. But it's still, from the highs, it's still down 20%. So Google's not the worst looking, but as you can see, feeling it, copying it. Apple doesn't look as bad either, but a seriously lower high has been put in on Apple, and that is a lower high. Absolutely, look at that. You don't see that in crypto, those sorts of candles. Look at the gap, the old red candle to nowhere. So Apple looking pretty shitty, but you could draw some boxes around it, get more of an understanding of the price action. The understanding of this price action is that it's stretched out too high and needs to come down. It's just ranging. It's ranging. So a lot of these charts show signs of potentially at least to there, remembering that supports love to be broken. When these prices start coming for them, they usually finish the job. And let's have a look at Nvidia, yeah, just similar sort of thing. This is giving us more of a real easily identified channel, and this channel will end probably with a hell of a lot of bullish divergence. Looking to put a case of bullish divergence in there, and then I'm sure that it'll give us at least one or two more counts before it turns around. We'll see. So the whole market's looking drab, but also, which is a good for a change, is the dollar. So the dollar's going to shit as well. So as long as the dollar keeps going to shit, it helps crypto pump. Okay, so over the last couple of years, we have studied and noticed that when the dollar goes below this line, crypto typically does quite well. No coincidence. It just happens. It just be like that. And then a lot of the time when crypto is above this line, the dollar, American dollar, is above this line, crypto dumps. So keep an eye on this. The dollar's playing ball. So at least we got one thing in our favor. Gold's coming up again for this attempt, like we told you. It's clearly started breaking down after it was walking the Bollinger Bands. So just walking the top side of the Bollinger Bands. Very strong long trade there available if you took it. Awesome to see. But yeah, now gold is going to be probably doing a bit of work in the other direction. I still am on the camp that it might, or it will at some point, attack the 3K area. It's such a significant point, potentially on some sort of news, probably about Fort Knox or something. But other than that, I think that the around this area, the top's going to be in on gold for a little bit. I am bullish gold further, but yeah, I'll leave my words if it smashes through. But I believe that the top is in on gold for a little while, except for when it attacks 3K and then gets rejected and comes back down. All right, let's get into the fun stuff. Here we go. Here's Trump having a go. Trump hints at a little disturbance to economy before tariffs make America rich again rather quickly. Alex Jones predicts this is a further indication that deep state Democrats will attempt to crash the economy in the next month and blame the MAGA agenda. Let's have a listen together.
America rich again and making America great again, and it's happening, and it will happen rather quickly. There'll be a little disturbance, but we're okay with that. Look, it won't be much.
Listen to me.
No, you're not. Oh.
Yeah, point of the Democrats. Trump knows they're trying to short the market. He keeps warning people. I think they crash the market the next month, Owen.
Jeff, I want to thank you very much. And I also want to recognize another person who has devoted herself to foster care community. She works so hard on it.
Seriously, guys, I've had all these economists on, and myself and others. They're planning to crash the economy and thinking you'll give up. It's not going to work. It'll spike up even bigger after. Owen? Trump just warned 3 times in a row there's going to be a disturbance. He knows what they're about to do.
Yeah, well, just like anything in life, there's going to be a challenge. There's going to be a period of pain.
Well, yeah, when you're in a fight, even though you're kicking the guy's ass, he still punches you.
Yeah, anyways, first time I watched that as well. Alex Jones and Trump think that the economy is going to crash. Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index still sitting in the extreme fear. You will regret it. You will regret it if you don't at least buy some Bitcoin right now. Whether it's $100, whether it's $1,000, whether it's $10,000, you will regret letting this opportunity of extreme fear pass. Okay. Breaking, S&P 500 has officially erased entire gains since the election, wiping out 3.4 trillion in value. So this is pretty huge, and a good thing to remember with stuff like this is like markets usually like they make real ground in silence, like slowly. People don't pick up on it. It's just like, oh, new all-time highs. It's just like sort of happening really slowly. And when there's big pumpermentals, big things, big reasons, big news, just like the Trump thing recently with crypto, or even just the Trump election, as this says, when there's big events and attention on markets or on a certain market, it is very often that it will retrace its entire gain. Okay, very often. So keep that in mind moving forward. White House Crypto Summit on Friday. This Friday coming. Mark this day in your calendar as the last chance for some proper news coming out from Trump. Friday is the day. Top or flop, green or red. Also, we've just seen how a Trump tweet goes. It pumps and then retraces. In some cases, these altcoins have retraced even more than they pumped. So how good can it be? At the moment, we're getting a lot of news failures. So positive news failures is where some positive news, it fails to pump the price or at least keep the price up after pumping, which it has not been doing. Let's have a look at this. And just like that, the market is now pricing in 3 full Fed fund rate cuts by the end of the year. It's pricing that in. Do as you wish with that. Let's watch this one. The old fruity.
I would say what's interesting is Bitcoin's not had negative headlines in February, but it was down. But I know our technician, Mark Newton, had talked about this being a cyclical downturn in Bitcoin through the end of March. So he was talking mid-January, getting down to 62. The weekend...
105 to 62. That's just Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's a typical...
Do the math, though. It's like, in a month, 105 to 62.
Yeah, that's a test of the resolve
that hurts
bulls, right?
People that buy at 105.
Yeah, but as you know, Bitcoin makes all of its gains in 10 days. So if people sort of try to time this, they're going to miss out on a chance for Bitcoin to go back to its highs.
And by the end, at some point in this year, you think it gets, because last year you thought it might get to 150 or even higher, right?
Yeah. I think it's going to do better than 150 this year.
You do?
Yeah.
U.S. dollar?
Yes.
What? 150?
Hungarian forint?
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know. Something that's a lot less than $150,000. That's it's a lot better than higher than 150.
That's right, because it's becoming more widely held.
Yeah.
If Citadel starts trading it, it starts to have more broad acceptance.
Okay. Tom Lee, thanks.
Thank you. I would say with
So I don't know what that guy's a bit to take in. He's like, no, fuck. He's like, yeah. He looks like he wants a cuddle or something. I'd be keeping the 6-foot pole on when he sit on the desk. I think that I think that he brought up a really important point then. Majority of Bitcoin's gains come in 10 days, he said. So more or less, the rest of the time is spent consolidating or going lower. If you just take all of the times that Bitcoin increases in proper large value, you could sum it down to 10 days, according to the fruity, the power bottom, the the whatever they call it, the bear, the bottom bear. Anyways, this was from a couple of days ago, this video that we just showed you. So mind it, but yeah, I didn't watch that. We're watching this together. Crypto bros trying to predict the market. Also the crypto market. No. No. What's the Bitcoin price doing? No, down the shirt. Let's go for a walk. Let's leave the crypto markets. Oh, we're back. It's about to pump. We're about to jump. We're about to dump instead. Another one from Lark Davis. Imagine waiting for 3 years and then panic selling, even though the American president is shilling altcoins, which we've been waiting for this. We've been waiting for this for a long time, and it's happening. It's no fairy tale at the moment because prices aren't pumping at the same time. We're getting all this good news, Trump news as well. So unfortunately, we're getting what we want. We're getting everything we want other than the price action going up. That's it. So we'll try and be a little bit happy. I'm sure eventually the price will catch up. Not on everything, but on the valuable stuff, on the rare assets. That'll do. Peace and love. I'll see you tomorrow.